So he said he was the prototypical and he was atypical.
Okay.
So we studied Prophet Muhammad and we studied the followers of Prophet Muhammad because we figured whatever the followers of Prophet Muhammad was to him, we should be to the Honorable Elijah Muhammad.
Okay.
And so the 5 pillars of Islam we were always taught. We always made him the center of our attention with respect to our religious understanding. And the reason why I say that we all know about the black stone in the cornerstone of the Kaaba. We thought that meant that was the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. So he was the black stone of the house that was being built in America.
Okay.
So it's like it was hard not for us to not see everything of divine associated with him at that time.
And am I correct in saying his son he dispelled that,
Yes.
and that caused a rift between him and, from what I've read, Farrakhan wanted to continue in what the Honorable Elijah Muhammad had established, but his son did not, and so that caused the kind of a rift, because what I've read was WD, as he went on to create a new understanding, so to speak, or a new holiday, a week-long celebration called Survivor's Day, and that happened for a few years, but eventually he came back to the celebration of Savior's Day, maybe like in 2000.
Let me
Is
correct.
that right?
No. You're close, but there's a lot of misconceptions in that.
Okay.
And now let me straighten that out. That was W.D. Muhammad as the leader, along with everyone else.
Okay.
As a matter of fact, he was the minister in New York, and then he moved to Chicago with Imam Muhammad. And he became a part of the congregation for at least he was following Imam Muhammad. And got to the point where it bothered him because he was in with Elijah Muhammad. And he felt like there was a lot of people still lost. They couldn't grasp the transition of what Imam Muhammad was teaching the Honorable Elijah Muhammad's followers. So he went to Imam Muhammad and he said, I think I need to go back and try to help those who could not make the transition. He said, I think I can do something, I can be of help to them. And he actually told him, I don't want you to think that I'm a hypocrite or I feel hypocrisy in my heart, that's why I'm telling you. And Imam Muhammad said, no, you can't be a hypocrite if you're here telling me. And I understand. He just said, don't stay out there too long. Do what you think you have to do.
Okay.
And so about 3.5 years or 4 years later, Minister Farrakhan began to revitalize the concepts of the Nation of Islam. And that's how that came about. After the Million Man March in Washington, D.C., a lot of the Islamic world, followers of Prophet Muhammad, came to Minister Farrakhan and asked him to be the international representative for Muslims.
Okay.
Because of, I wasn't going to say the gravity of the influence that they saw that he had in Washington, D.C. by being able to assemble well over 1 million black men
Right.
on the lawn of the White House. But they said, if you become our international spokesman, we would want you to take your shahada and make sure that you accept Allah, the creator of the heavens and the earth, as the supreme being and not Master Farad Muhammad. Minister Farrakhan said, I'll take my shahada, but there's only one person I feel worthy that can give it to me, and that's Wallace D. Muhammad.
Oh, okay.
So he went to Imam Muhammad to retake his, I would say this, whatever, I don't know what year the Million Man March was, but after that, there was a conscious effort for Minister Farrakhan to bring his followers to Prophet Muhammad
Okay.
and to give him acceptance. Imam Muhammad visited his Savior's Day in 2000 in California,
Right.
and that's how that union came about, which you'll probably read about, or if you Google it, you'll find that out.
Yeah,
But-
I did read that.
Okay, so that's what that was.
Okay, I did. Well, I thank you for the explanation. That's excellent. And also interesting because that's a backstory that not many people are aware of.
Right.
You know, generally, like, unless you have someone who's a source or an original, I know you don't mind me calling you that.
No. As a matter of fact, that's one of the terms Honorable Elijah Muhammad named us, the descendants of the free slaves. He said we were the original man.
Oh, well. So that's just, I would just like to drill down on the whole celebratory side of Savior's Day. You know, usually, well, the most commonly recognized holidays have rituals and things, certain foods that people eat and certain practices that they do. Is the same true for Savior's Day? And if so, what are those practices and rituals?
Well, no, Savior's Day is just like any other day of recognition that you would celebrate. It's nothing in specific, especially about eating habits or associated with that particular day. No, as a matter of fact, we used to just celebrate. I know it is going to Chicago and going to the Salam restaurant or Cottage Grove Avenue,
Right.
which was a big restaurant. And now Minister Farrakhan still has that restaurant open.
Really?
It was opened by the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. And now Minister Farrakhan still uses it, and it's open to this day, still being practiced. So that was, and you order regular meals, you know.
Okay. And so is that where people would converge? Say, for instance, today, where would people be today?
I would venture to say that's where they probably are eating right now.
No doubt.
Yes, it's dinner time, so they're probably there ordering, and it was a first class restaurant. It was like they waited on you, and they would have the waitresses or the waiters would be in tuxedo and formal dress, and it really represented civilized posture, attitude from black people, with black people, for black people, as a people.
So currently, who would you say is the strongest sect or population of people who support or celebrate Savior's Day?
Right now, Minister Farrakhan and his following, they identity to what we used to do. And I would say that Minister Farrakhan has together. He has a lot of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad's children and grandchildren. They keep that alive. I would like to highlight that community as well. We are referred to as his students, and we don't disregard it. We also celebrate it, but we don't gather as much as we used to, like when we were with the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. I would say Minister Farrakhan does a much greater job on that.
And is that usually in Chicago where you see the greatest gathering?
Yes, sometimes he have it in other places. Like I said, in 2000 he had it in Los Angeles. But you know, he's good at creating a crowd wherever he wants it. If he can put 1 million on Washington D.C. lawn,
Certainly.
wherever he is, he makes the call, and as a rule, there will be a holistic response.
No doubt. So to what would you attribute I don't want to call it to what would you attribute that whole thing where you said yourself, you guys practiced it and now you don't as much as you used to?
Well, Imam Muhammad, what you have to understand is there was divinity associated with Master Fard Muhammad. And when Imam Muhammad came into office, he made it plain that Master Fard Muhammad was born 1977.
Right.
So that's why we celebrate his birthday.
Right.
So how can you be born and also be God?
Right. And
Okay.
right.
All right.
So.
And I would venture to say, and I think I should, in the Honorable Elijah Muhammad taught, he basically put the Godhead in a mindset. In his message to the black man, he said there were 24 scientists, 12 majors, and 12 minors. And one of them acts as the leader who would have the title of a thing, made us to believe that it was a mental thing. And so when one of them, let's say the man who held the title would pass away, population, and get someone.
Okay.
I think that's the reason why I went into that is because Peter, he highlighted it and he made a big emphasis that man means mind. And it was an awakening to us because we always saw the Honorable Elijah Muhammad as thinking that we were our physical biologies.
Right.
We thought that if we had pigment in us, white man who had no pigment, Imam Muhammad physical, and pointed us to the mind.
Right.
I think I should clear up that because the Honorable Elijah Muhammad was not, he said that he was giving us a wake-up message. One to come after him. We had accepted from him as divine. Imam Muhammad let us know that no, it was just the ground rules for us to accept and to properly understand the divine.
Right.
Man meaning mind, but the creator of the heavens and the earth, biology. He's not associated with biology. He's given us our human potential. And I guess I should say this too. This is another dimension of this Savior. And I have to say it because I used to be a captain in Baltimore. And he made it plain to the believers because he disbanded the FOI. He said, you don't need a captain to lord over you. The real captain and its association with divine. And that's the real Savior. The real Savior is not a biology, it's not a personality. It's not an individual. It is better known as God's Khalifa in the earth. And what I mean by Khalifa is the ruler on behalf of God,
Right.
to represent his interests in the earth. And for those who are listening, when we say the ruler in the earth, we're not talking about the third